everyone. Today, or at least the day that I'm recording this, is Tuesday, July 21st, 2026, and it's actually a pretty exciting day for passenger rail here in the Pacific Northwest. That's because, for the first time, one of Amtrak's new AIRO train sets is being tested on the Cascades rail corridor. AIRO is the brand name for the new trains, 83 of which are being constructed for Amtrak by Siemens Mobility. Most of the new trains will be used on Amtrak's East Coast intercity routes, but 8 train sets, an extra cab car, and 2 new ALC 42E locomotives are designated for Amtrak Cascades service in the Pacific Northwest. These new trains will be replacing all passenger cars and train sets currently in use on Amtrak Cascades, making this the biggest equipment change in the route's history since its debut in January of 1999. Each of the new train sets is 6 cars in length and includes a business class car, a cafe car, 3 coaches, and a combination coach baggage cab control car for quick turnarounds at train endpoints. After months of testing on Amtrak's Northeast Corridor, the first set was shipped to Seattle, Washington in May of 2026. Initial tests in the Pacific Northwest were performed just a few miles south of Seattle in Kent on May 27th to test compatibility with railroad crossings. 2 months later, full-length test runs on the entire Cascades corridor were finally ready to begin. The first, planned for July 21st, would travel from Seattle, Washington to Vancouver, British Columbia and return. 2 days later, on July 23rd, another test train was scheduled to operate round-trip from Seattle to Eugene, Oregon. Anticipation was building for the fall revenue service debut of the AIRO trains, with rail enthusiasts from all around traveling to see the new train in action in the Pacific Northwest for the first time. Coming back from a filming trip in the Midwest, I was able to make adjustments to my schedule to make it back in time for the first test run. So let's head down to the tracks now and take a look at the new train in action. I began the morning of July 21st on the north end of Seattle's waterfront. Test train number 964 was originally scheduled to depart Seattle at 5 a.m. It was a little after 6 when the AIRO train was finally underway, with brand new ALC 42E locomotive 7001 leading. The train was scheduled to stop at each station along the route for 10 minutes to check for things like platform clearances with the new equipment. Traffic heading north on I-5 was light, and the test train would have to meet 2 southbound Sounder commuter trains along the way and make a station stop in Edmonds. So I headed all the way up to Everett to catch them again on arrival into the city. The spot I chose was the Lombard Avenue Bridge over the tracks. This overpass offers a view of the mile-long railroad tunnel that passes directly under downtown Everett. All passenger trains, as well as freight trains traveling east towards Stevens Pass, utilize the tunnel. Freight trains continuing north of Everett and onto the Bellingham subdivision toward Canada typically bypass the tunnel, traveling through Bayside Yard to the west. An eastbound intermodal train came through the tunnel, followed by a southbound Sounder. After the other train traffic had cleared, the AIRO test run rolled through the tunnel and into Everett Station. Working around the train as it made its extended station stop, I pulled off at Steamboat Slough just south of Marysville to see it rolling through the large swing bridge. Just before 8 a.m., the test train came into view. Bypassing the station stop in Stanwood, I next caught up with the AIRO train in the Skagit Valley as it flew through the town of Conway. The next stop at Mount Vernon was just 5 minutes away. Test Train 964 made an extended stop in Mount Vernon, allowing me plenty of time to reach the north side of Burlington before it came through. A few miles ahead, the test train would come to a stop at Bow Siding to allow regularly scheduled southbound Amtrak Cascades train 517 to pass by. This gave me an additional 30 minutes to get up to Bellingham to see the AIRO set arriving into Fairhaven Station. Locomotive 7001 finally rounded the corner at Post Point at 9:48 a.m. With a 10-minute long stop at the station in Bellingham, I managed to get another 25 miles up the line just in time to see the train passing through Blaine on the US-Canada border. Alright, we're back up here in Blaine, Washington to see the southbound move of the test train. And those of you that have seen a number of my videos on the channel and are familiar with what I've filmed on this part of the route may have noticed that there is something behind me that's missing. And that is the original 1909 Blaine passenger depot that until about a week and a half ago stood on this spot. A number of groups over the years tried to save it and get it preserved either as a museum or an active train station, but inevitably BNSF ended up tearing the station down on July 9th. So it's another old piece of railroad infrastructure that has faded into the history books. As the afternoon sky started to get a little hazy, regularly scheduled Amtrak Cascades train 519 made its way south through White Rock, BC as it approached the U.S. Until very recently, all southbound Amtrak Cascades trains stopped right at the border for an inspection. As of June 8th, inspections have moved up to Pacific Central Station in Vancouver, so trains now fly through without stopping at Blaine. About an hour later, southbound test train 965 made an appearance, running just 10 minutes behind the original schedule. The train came through White Rock and then passed the iconic Peace Arch right at the border. A long and complicated meet with northbound Amtrak train 518 and a freight train at South Bellingham siding put the test train about an hour behind schedule. In the fading light, I saw the AIRO set one final time as it rolled into Mount Vernon and the Skagit Transportation Center at 9:12 p.m. The train disappeared into the darkness, bringing our journey to a close. Thanks for joining me for this first look at the new Amtrak Cascades AIRO train in action. I look forward to bringing you even more videos on the new AIRO trains when they debut in service later in 2026. As always, a special thanks to all my supporters on Patreon. What are your thoughts on the new trains? Post a comment below and let me know. Remember to subscribe to the channel to receive notifications whenever I post to YouTube, and I'll be back next Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time for an all-new railroading adventure. Until next time, I'm Mike Armstrong. I'll see you down the line. Thanks for watching.